Mother speaks.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Atar.
Hi, welcome to Great Mother Speaks. I'm Tammy Taylor, inner work life coach and inventor of the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck. I want to talk to you a little bit about this Virgo Libra full moon. It is a super moon occurring on the 20th. It's a build up. It's a huge build up. If you remember the new moon, Great Mother came through and she said that it was balsamic moon energy, and to kind of sit on that energy, let what needs to be downloaded, the opportunity to be downloaded for this entire lunar cycle, including this full moon, which is climatic in the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck. Great Mother is not limited or confined to human convention. And we have some very ancient traditions that say every new moon is a new seed. However, based on the astrology, the energies are shifting so that this transition into what is traditionally a new year is really more than that. It's a new phase of regrounded soul inscription on the planet. It's really that deep. Now, those of you who may not know, Great Mother is the Holy Spirit, the still small voice, our intuition, the part of us, that yin energy, that primal yin energy that is spirit, and it is soul as we know it vibrationally from this ego body. We use the Vedic astrology here with Great Mother Speaks and in the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck that uses chakras to align with that soul energy. And so that's why it is indeed a Virgo Libra moon. It's Virgo in the sidereal, in the nakshatra of Uttara Phalguni, which is about relationships, which is about connecting, which is about devotion, a very devotional energy to a fault, in fact. But the Libra energy is what I want you to really be aware of at this particular time, as in the Western astrology, this ancient tradition through that astrology has to do with the seeding. I want you to get something really straight about this. And it's really important because in that new moon reading, I also said that moving forward with these readings, I'm going to be more specific with regard to your lunar sign and where it is in terms of its healing of mama drama trauma, which is a condition in which the mother projects unhealed aspects of herself onto her child, causing emotional and or physical trauma in cases where she's unable, unavailable, unwilling to heal her own MDT, because it is a cycle. Loving detachment is required, and that is my area of specialization. I am an inner life coach that works with these inner emotional issues to release the emotions of shame, blame, and guilt, which perpetuate this cycle. This is actually conditioned to and through us as we incubate in our mother's womb and as she raises us with the same type of conditioning framework of MDT. To let you know how this deck came about through my inner work, I could not sustain clientele based on my own personal story of healing MDT. I had to get in touch with Great Mother and ask for a tool to assist people coming from various backgrounds and various experiences with mama drama trauma. You want to know more about it? Look at the links below, the definitions of MDT, the telltale signs of MDT, to see whether or not you have it. But for those of you who are subscribers and that have been working with me over a period of time, you know that this emotional energy is what has to be released, because that is what is associated with the mother and how we regard our relationship with our mother, as opposed to understanding it's a soul relationship. In the soul astrology, we have just left the Cancer North Node, Capricorn South Node, and now we're in Sagittarius South Node, Gemini North Node. That means for the prior 2.5 years on a soul level, the planet has been addressing issues of our old way of developing our maternal relationships. Our maternal relationships have to do with our feelings of belonging. And specifically here, what Great Mother is speaking to us about is not only just the home or with the mother, but it has to do with, from that conditioning, that maternal conditioning, how we develop our boundaries in our relationships. And boundaries are important because they let ourselves, first and foremost, be clear about who we are, what's important to us, what's okay, what's not okay, what we like, what we don't like, so that we can communicate those things clearly to others. When we don't communicate those things clearly to others, people don't trust us, and we don't trust ourselves to make good decisions. So it's really important that those boundaries are associated with an understanding of what those original maternal relationships are about. That feeling like you belong. Now, if you don't feel like you belong, and you know that you have mama drama trauma, that's where Great Mother comes in, because it's not about the emotional connection to our birth mother that connects us to the healing process of releasing shame, blame, and guilt. It's connecting to Great Mother, the mother of all mothers, that yin energy within. So you'll see that through your Vedic sign, which is always mentioned before your Western sign, in 24 degrees in precession to it, in fact, that is where your soul is downloading information from energetically. So for example, on this full moon, energetically, we are all, through the collective consciousness, getting downloads from Virgo energy. This energy that's reorganizing, that's specifying, that's inquiring about exactly what is going on with regard to what we're committing ourselves to, what we feel is worthy of our devotion, and what we want to work towards in terms of our responsibilities, in terms of our accountability, what it is in life that is worth our being accountable for and being accountable to. And typically, for most human beings, it is in our relationships to one another. What keeps us committed, what keeps us grounded, what keeps us responsible is that we like it. It means something to us. It's not just okay, it's something that feels good. It all goes back to boundaries, feeling whether or not we belong, feeling that on a soul level we're sharing our gifts, talents, and abilities, that healing energy of Virgo, the daily life of Virgo, working that out with the 3Ds, disputes, debts, okay, and diseases, how we're balancing our health with regard to living according to this soul wisdom. This full moon is coming to a climax. And emotionally, downloading that through the filter of Libra energy is bringing us right into how we're connecting with one another. I want to let you know that as we move forward with these readings, I'm going directly to the cards, to the signs and symbols. But that doesn't mean that the specifics and the astrology is any less important. These introductions are still quite important. However, I want you to know spiral spectrum is the hippest ephemeris on the planet, according to the Western astrology. But it's very colorful, and it allows you to go through each sign, through each cycle, through each transit that occurs in a way that is understanding to you and for you. As you can see, for the year 2019, I collaborated in creating the lunar phase of the definitions, the lunar portion of the definitions. And as you see here with the definition of Virgo, and for the definition of Libra. And so these are the energies that we're working with. These are the energies that we are bringing to the fore. If you're interested in learning more about how to work with the lunar energies, check out the link below. To purchase the calendar, simply go to greatmotherspeaks.info and scroll down to where you see the cosmic calendar to get your copy for this exciting remainder of 2019. As we continue with this year, Great Mother, Father God will continue to activate this emerging cycle into releasing our old structures around our mother, around nurturing, around compassion, around feeling understood and feeling cared for. There's a restructuring of how this is working. And July 2nd, the total solar eclipse, and we're going to have another eclipse at the end of the year in December. These energies are going to really nourish what you're planting during this illustrious season of Virgo Libra. It's coming to climax, and so it's not necessarily seeding an intention in terms of a wish, but it's seeding conscious awareness of what you have downloaded thus far, so that the next full moon, as we move into that Aries new moon, you can culminate your wishes in a way that is respective to what you know. Now, for your Virgo, Libra, full moon readings. Taurus, Gemini, moon sign people, your significator card is Rebirth. Rebirth is a balsamic moon, 5th chakra card. It's a throat chakra card. Balsamic moon is downloads. It's intuitive download period, phase. And you are receiving a lot of downloads at this time. You have Mercury in your 11th house, which is squaring Mars in your 1st house. So you are getting a lot of downloads about how you want to be represented in the world, how you want to connect with people. You're very consciously aware of who's in your personal circle at this time, and you're wanting to execute this rebirth, which is really based on, some of you may already be having some difficulty sleeping at this time. Some of you may be having some real challenges with time itself. You know, you may be feeling like you're being transported in time getting really short, or time taking long. You're having these issues with time. This is because Uranus is in your 12th house. And so you have this concentration of energy between your 11th and your 1st houses, which is a placement that is about rebirth. It's about the ending and the beginning of the wheel. And since we're talking about emotions and intuition, it's important to recognize that these downloads are happening to you all day, every day, because Uranus is sudden insights, sudden awarenesses, and with it being in your 12th house, you're going to get a lot over the next 6 years. Uranus is finally stationed in your 12th house. You're going to get a lot of downloads about your hidden strengths, about your hidden abilities. And so the significator of rebirth, Great Mother, is telling you this full moon is coming to a climax. It's coming to a culmination of what you really are going to be dealing with over the next several years in this transformation from how you have lived your life in the past as it relates to MDT, and how you will be moving forward. You're getting really clear downloads about it. And as a result, you may not be sleeping, and as a result, you may be kind of feeling like, wait a second, this is a strange, familiar type of energy, but an hour has passed. I just finished texting somebody and that only took 10 seconds. So it's going to eventually balance out. It'll take longer for some of you than others. It depends on your own personal chart. But I just wanted to let you know, because this moon, what's bringing it up is the Dagda, which is the double yin card, which is about intuitive download. Having an active masculine energy that is balanced with the intuitive side. And so the masculine energy is all about living a life beyond MDT. So MDT represents that soul contract, and then we are making a conscious choice to either live that shame, blame, and guilt as mama drama trauma identity, or to transition into this divinity identity. I see with this rebirth of divine expression, you're making that transition into divinity identity, and what's bringing that up is that you're walking in that divinity identity, Taurus, Gemini, moon sign people, with a real active download life. You are really in that, and I'm seeing that this Mercury retrograde in your 11th house is adding to that during this particular time, during this full moon time. So over this period, over into the next month, into the third quarter, which will be after the next full moon in Libra, Scorpio, you're going to be releasing some more. You're going to be releasing a lot that has to do with what you thought you knew. You know, we're talking about great mothers, our intuition, the Holy Spirit, that still small voice, what we know. That's changing for you. What you know. It's growing. It's expanding because the South Node, K2, is in your 9th house. And your North Node, where you're going in your lunar aspect from your moon, it's 3rd house. And so you are beginning to communicate things differently. You're expressing yourself differently based on the law of Divine Mother. You're in touch with that. What you may not realize is how powerful this inner wisdom is at this particular time. And your position of the shadow card is Sophia, inner wisdom. It's a new moon energy heart chakra. Heart chakra is ruled by Venus, which rules Taurus and Libra. So Taurus, being your Vedic moon sign, is really letting you know that, hey, you've got this. Whatever questions, whatever insecurities you might have about this rebirth process, let it go. Because your South Node is in your 8th house. It is in that rebirth position of supporting you to let it go. And your North Node, Rahu, is in your 2nd house. And so owning those values, owning that wisdom that you have is really, really important at this particular time. And Venus is coming through. And Venus, of course, is in your 10th house now to let you know that it's supporting that Dharma. It's supporting your life purpose. It's supporting this wisdom that's coming through to support your life purpose. Now, what you want is for this purification through your heart chakra, that crossroads between your ego and your soul. You want this purification to establish a true sense of revision. You're really wanting to get that clear, creative, psychic sense that your relationships and your career, the outer manifestation of your Dharma, how you live your life and how you share, okay, that is, heart energy, how you share your gifts, talents, and abilities is in agreement with what you are downloading. This is really important to you right now, that you are aware of this. And I'm not sure why, because typically you are really clear about it, but there's some things that have brought up maybe a need for you to have this affirmation, and as a result you're wanting that purification to come through for you, that clarity to come through for you. This Venus in your 10th house is providing that clarity for you at this particular time. Now, what's assisting the clarity is the fact that you're ready to face this challenge. You're ready to express yourself and to communicate your divine expression. You are ready to own the fact that your past is no longer influencing your present or your future. You have that courage. You have that lioness creative thing going with this full moon in your 5th house. You see things clearly. You know who you are. You know who's on your level. You know who's not on your level. You know where you're getting fed. You know where the love is. You know where the soothing is. And you're moving towards that. That's what's assisting you to do this purification work. And it's a matter of clarity for you. It's a matter of clarity for you because you're well on the path. You are at a point of ego-soul alignment where you realize that you physically, emotionally have done all that you can do, and you need more download. This is 2nd chakra, waning gibbous moon. Waning is that sharing Thanksgiving phase of the moon. It's that phase of the moon right after the full moon where Great Mother starts to move closer to, starts to move rather away from Great Father energy a little bit, to begin to go more into that clarifying space that you're wanting, to clarify that internal space more now that that outer full moon clarity has come. And so this energy is all about the primordial mother energy, that second chakra energy, where Jupiter is right now for you, is in your 7th house. And so that clarity in relationship to your soul contracts with people is where your ego soul alignment is right now. I mean, you're getting really clear because you do know where you are in relationship with other people vibrationally. And it is from our vibrational frequency that we create our outer relationships, our outer life. And since this feeling of this reading has to do with these intense downloads that you're getting, these psychic creative downloads that are about your relationship and your career, it's helpful to know that that's why you may be a little bit on edge with sleeping. That's why you might be a little bit on edge with regard to time and just wondering, what's happening. You are being transported into a whole different area of consciousness. You've been doing a lot of internal work, most of you, and those of you who have not, you're feeling this because the universe is supporting you to align with where your soul wants to be at this particular time. I like what is it called? Calm something, vital calm, to sleep. Basically, it's magnesium that has like melatonin in it, and it's a natural sleeping aid. Chamomile tea, things of that nature. Tart cherry, a very good quality tart cherry, organic, is good to assist with sleeping as well. We sometimes need to communicate with our angels and the guides and ancestors and say, I need to rest. Deep breathing, deep inhalations at a long pace for 8 or so breaths, and then slowing it down for 6 or so breaths, and then slowing it down further for about 4 breaths. That takes you right out. Those types of methods really help to enhance ego soul alignment, that ego body can rest and be relaxed so that it can, as Dorothy here in the Twister Dream, can get those downloads in order to live the law. Now, this is the position of why your soul wants to do the work, the Moses card, and it wants to live in ego soul alignment. That is where the ego that has experienced or has experienced MDT is aspiring to live in loving detachment, accepting what is, and what is our divinity. We are dearly loved children of the great Mother, Father, God, who are never judged, condemned, or left alone. That's living the law. And this gut chakra energy is saying that the soul on a gut level is really receiving from you that you are ready to do that, but you still have some questions about it, and that's why it wants to really align with you and is encouraging you, first quarter moon energy, to make that decision. We have free will. It wants to align with you as well. So you want to align, the soul wants to align with you, but you have to really make that conscious decision and act it out. That's the karma. You have to actually do the work. You have to actually start to manage your sleeping issues. You have to actually start to acknowledge that you do know where the love is for you and live your life and moving in those directions. You have to actually do the purification work, which is being true to yourself and taking care of your diet. 5th house energy has to do with your creative energies. And so those things that you know that you need to do to express yourself, maybe in terms of taking care of your children, just in general creativity, just in terms of projects you might be interested in. Sometimes it just has to do with maybe if you're a manager and you're managing people at work and they're going crazy, you realizing these are my subordinates. That's why I'm the leader, that lion energy, and just asserting through your own divine expression what is. And you know what is. You're getting downloads, and it's in your shadow that you have the wisdom to assert what it is you're getting from this primordial mother space. Now, how your soul wants to do this expression is by letting you realize through your download from the third eye this full moon that things are coming together for you. All of this is coming together for you. It does feel strange. It's a strange familiar. Yes, you may not have necessarily gone to a new place, although some of you may be actually moving to a foreign country or are considering moving to a foreign country or doing some very meaningful long distance travel with the aspects that you have. This eighth house in the south node from your moon is really changing just what's important to you, how you use your emotional, your mental resources, your time resources, and maybe this kind of slippage of time is giving you some clues as to, how to cut things short and what to expand on. And it's just offering you these windows of intuitive insight, as we see with Adi Shakti here, the twister dream, and with Jupiter, being there in your seventh house of soul contracts. We do have soul contracts, but we can decide consciously through our free will how to work them. And things are coming together for you in terms of that. And that's how your soul wants you to approach this alignment, is with the security of knowing that things are truly coming together for you. Now, Cancer rules the third eye, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. So that would also indicate that your soul really wants you to pay particular attention to what is influencing your moon. And again, Uranus is in your first house. It is Uranus is in your 12th house. And Mars is in your first house. So for a few more weeks, for 6 years, you're going to have Uranus in your 12th house, but Mars is going to be leaving and coming out of it. But for this period of time in particular, where we have the 11th house that has Mercury retrograde, you have the 10th house with your Dharma where Venus is, this lovely energy. You're getting supported from leaving that old way of living into the new divinity identity. Things are coming together for you in relationship to your moon sign. All of these houses are placed in relationship to your moon sign of Taurus, Gemini from these placements, okay? And so your soul wants you to pay attention to that as it encourages you to accept that things are coming together. Trust the process. Trust the processing of the cycle as it works through you emotionally, okay? And by doing this internal work of rebirthing your divine expression from what it has been to what it will be as a result of incorporating these psychic downloads, the outcome will be Maya, justice. There will be justice for all of the work that you've done, regardless of whether or not that justice manifests in the form that you expect or that you would want, or in a greater form, which is typically what happens when we're working with Great Mother energy. We can't imagine the blessings that she has for us. The Mayak card is first quarter, third eye energy. Again, that lunar energy that is simply about asking us to make a choice, to face the challenge of transitioning from MDT identity into our divinity identity. And as a result of doing this work, you're going to find by the end of this lunar cycle or the next that is exactly where you will be. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and sharing. But above all, and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.
Great Mother speaks.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana, Mami Ishtar, Kali, Mammy, and Mother Mary.